Hi, I'm Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. This week's video tip is a little more meta. It's a little more of a soft tip than an actual hard source or method. And so you're going to get some of these every now and then because they're very important, especially to, I would say, seasoned investigators, experienced investigators who struggle with what I'm about to discuss. And that is just honestly, the word is justice. Just with the justice of what we do. Now, my brothers and sisters in security, you're going to get a lot out of this. My brothers and sisters in loss prevention, this is where I would love to say that I got a firm grasp on the concept of justice. In the 5 years I worked loss prevention full time, the 10,000 hours I put in there, I would love to say that I mastered it. It honestly wasn't until much later that I was able to really let it go. And I don't mean let go of justice, because justice is a vitally important virtue to have. What is justice? Justice is making sure everybody gets their due, right? And if you're looking at it from a theological perspective, a Christian perspective, making sure that everybody gets what they're due, including God. So, rightful praise, worship, that type of thing. But here on earth, among us mortals down here, it's rough when the bad guys get away with it, right? And they do a lot. I mean, I'm always surprised. I know somebody who will watch videos online and they'll see police interactions with people, and the bad guy will run. And they always ask, why do they run? I said, because it works so often. I mean, I'd say you have at least a 1 in 3 chance of getting away, maybe better than that. Yeah, the penalty, if you get caught, is going to be more severe, more stiff, but you got a pretty good chance of getting away. And is the penalty really going to be more stiff? Yeah, you're going to get hit with some extra things like resisting arrest and fleeing and those types of things. But the reality is, you're going to go before the judge. You're going to say, I'll cop a plea. I'll plead guilty to whatever the original thing was, or say receiving stolen property or auto theft. Auto theft. That's a great example. A car is stopped, or the officers get a hold of somebody who's in a stolen car. They're not going to be, even though they stole it, they're not going to be charged with stealing it, are they? No, they're going to be charged with receiving stolen property, because the state can't prove the person stole the car. They can prove that somehow along the line they received that stolen property. So immediately you're getting a reduction in justice, because that's all they can prove. And that's legit, right? Say the person manages to flee on foot, the cops chase him down. Now you're going to add eluding and resisting arrest and all these other things. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to get into court, and now the guy's got half a dozen charges against him instead of just the one RSP. And he's going to say, look, or his attorney's going to say, look, you drop everything else, reduce the RSP down to unauthorized use of motor vehicle, and we'll cop a plea on that. Did the guy really lose anything from trying to run? I mean, if you already got a record, if you're a criminal, if your reputation is not important to you, from like ours is, we need to be squeaky clean in our industry, right? If that's not important to you, then I would argue the guy didn't lose anything by trying to run. Maybe he had a 1 in 3 chance of getting away. All right, justice. That aggravates people. And don't get me wrong. The proper response to injustice is anger. That you should be angry if someone is being treated unjustly. Now, handle that anger. Use that anger appropriately. Don't, you don't climb out of your car and go over and pound on the window at a guy who's acting unjustly, right? Control your anger. But, especially if we talk about some meta things, some bigger picture things, people going hungry, people not being able to get the medicines they need, it's appropriate to be angry about that. Funnel your anger into working an extra shift and giving money to a charity that helps them, right? Okay. But here's the thing about the injustice overall. There's some pretty unjust things that are happening in the world. When it touches you, it's very easy to lose sense of the proportion, right? There are people who are being scammed online out of their retirement, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going from being able to get by in their old age to being broke, living on their kid's couch. Okay, that's a horrendous injustice. You're probably going to be more upset that somebody steals your bicycle off your front porch. That's just the way it works. It makes us human. I'm not judging that. I'm the same way. Somebody steals my bicycle, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to check surveillance footage around the area, ask the neighbors if they got anything, do they see blah, blah, blah. Right? If it's your bicycle, you're going to lose your mind about that injustice. Have I done anything really to help the old person who got scammed out of their retirement? I don't know. I mean, you could argue that I give money to my church, that we have mechanisms to help people out that way. But that's my point. Keep the injustice in perspective. Here's the really final thing, the valuable thing where it comes together. The justice comes. It always comes about. They got your bicycle. That's terrible. They got away with it. They traded to somebody for 3 crack rocks. It's even stupider and everything else. But they're going to get caught eventually. This behavior, this lifestyle catches up with them. And so now I actually begin to shift from the justice where people get what they're due to mercy. It's a shame that this person is going to die 20 years prematurely because that's the lifestyle that they've chosen to live, when they could have been constructive and helped things and built up and contributed to the economy. So I'm not asking you, obviously, forgiveness if you can. I think it's a non-negotiable. You have to forgive people. But justice comes about even on this planet. You don't got to wait till the next life. The justice comes about. So take it down a notch. Don't let it eat you up. When you can get to the point, and God bless, I hope I'm there. I feel like I'm there. I over and over again, I see injustices on the street. Things happen. And, I feel sorry for the victim of the stolen bicycle. But, this will work itself out. This is the way it is. Let me know if you have experiences with injustice, if you've handled them well or poorly, how you would handle them differently maybe in the future. If you're one of the older people that's watching, that's been there and done that, has this gotten any easier for you? In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.